Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we will present about the case study on the impact of e-learning on students' performance, and we are from group KAA2. Firstly, I will present about the first journal that we found, entitled Correlational Analysis of Student Visibility and Performance in Online Learning. The writer aimed to determine the impact of online learning on students' visibility and performance. Students were asked to give their input in any other way they could communicate in the online class. The survey revealed each student's thinking process in digesting course topics and accomplishing assignments, and examines online visibility rather than invisible course consumption or access. Next is I will present about the methodology on the first journal that we found. The author employs a single case with embedded case design, in which the online course serve as a single case and the students serve as individual cases respectively. The class featured 14 participants, which consists of 8 ladies and 6 males from 2 nations and 5 states in the USA. 8 of the 14 students knew the course setting and technology tools. In this study, 3 assessments were used to measure student performance in the class. Writing assignment that includes 15% of the mark. Next is the midterm test, which is considered 25% of the mark, and the capstone project with 30% of the marks. Finally, class participation was worth 5% of the grade. Hence, the final project tested students' design, communication, and implementation of theories in practice skills.
My name is Ni'nur Husna Amirah binti Nik Mustafar, number matric 1192984. Now, I will explain about data analysis based on the first journal that we found, which is Correlational Analysis of Student Visibility and Performance in Online Learning. Student visibility was determined through quantitative content analysis of communication artifacts. All communication artifacts were coded in the analysis to get counts of visible indicators such as threaded discussion posts, turn taken in chats, email entries, length of personal profiles, and instant messages for the purpose of statistical analysis. A systematic coding process was developed, which include defining important terms, specifying the elements of analysis, and formulating coding categories. Next is findings and discussions. According to the journal Correlational Analysis of Student Visibility and Performance in Online Learning 2004, 3 types of analysis conducted in this study, which is correlational analysis of course usage and grades, correlational analysis of visibility and learning outcomes, and lastly, 2 surveys were distributed into students' perception and social contexts, which often have great impact on students' online presence. Firstly, correlation analysis of course usage and grades. This analysis determines the number of times students access the course management tool, Blackboard, and how many times they visited the 22 areas of the course. Primarily the announcement, discussion board, course content area, which is course information, course document, assignment, textbooks, and external links. Next is tools area, which is the portal to Dropbox, personal information, calendar, grades, student manual, and tasks. And the other is communication areas, which is the portals to announcement, email, collaboration, roster, group pages, and discussion board. And lastly, the collaboration, which is the portal to lecture hall and office. Secondly, correlation analysis of visibility and learning outcomes. Students' visibility had a mean score of 2,361 and a high standard deviation of 1,749. 1,744 was the median. The frequency distribution was positively skewed according to the Shapiro-Wilk normality test. The Spearman correlational test revealed a strong correlation between students' online visibility and their total grades. There was no definite correlation between visibility and exam results, visibility and writing assignment in the same test. The final project was assigned a greater grading than the other tasks in determining the final grade. Thirdly, survey results. 2 surveys were distributed to students on self-perception on learning experience, which help understand the student performance, and the other survey is on useful aspects of socializing online to rate the value of 8 different sorts of online activities such as information sharing, problem solving, and making friends. As for the conclusion, firstly, substantial positive relation of course usage and students' online visibility between their total grades was discovered using the Spearman correlational test. The same test revealed no significant links between visibility and exam result, visibility and writing assignments, and some links between visibility and final project performance. Students also discovered that while communicating online, the most crucial activity is project logistical planning. Making friends with other students, on the other hand, was rated as the least helpful aspect, presumably because this group of students was more task-oriented than socially oriented, or because even socially oriented students took online chat rooms was undesirable or ineffective ways to interact. Lastly, online activities should be prioritized to meet students' requirements with an emphasis on project work, information exchange, acquiring computer tools, and communication skill, and creating social networks. That's all from me for the first journal.
I will explain about Journal 2 titled The Impact of Online Classes on the Satisfaction and Performance of Students During the Pandemic Period of COVID-19. Over the last decade, online learning has grown significantly as the internet and education have combined to give individuals with the chance to learn new skills. No one has the information that how long this pandemic will remain, and hence the teaching method was shifted to online mode. Even though some of the educators were not tech savvy, they updated themselves to battle the unexpected circumstance. All of those online learning firms have a tremendous quantity of user data, which allows those platforms to utilize machine learning algorithms to improve people's learning habits. According to the journal, the writer aimed to identify the factors affecting students' satisfaction and performance regarding online classes and to establish the relationship between these variables. According to author, there are 4 factors that play an essential role in affecting the students' satisfaction and performance in online classes, which are the course design, instructor quality, prompt feedback, and students' expectation. This procedure to conduct the study was selected through judgment sampling and was gathered through an online survey. According to this journal, the writer named Gopal developed a theoretical framework, which is the achievement goal theory, which was introduced in the late of 1917s by 4 researchers named Carol Ames, Carol Dweck, Martin Mayer, and Joe Nicol. Is widely utilized to explain the student performance. According to this theory, students' motivation and achievement-related actions may be simply understood by the goal and reasons they adopted when engaged with learning activities. According to the author, school closing may also have an impact on students due to disruptions in teacher and students' networks, resulting a low performance. However, according to past research by Sibanda, students perform well if they know about factors that impact on their performance. As a result, the writer's purpose is to investigate the characteristics that influence students' happiness and performance in online classes. Because of the pandemic, educational institutions, including instructors and students, were forced to migrate online with which they were unfamiliar. The pupils were not psychologically prepared for such a drastic change. The study will look at what factors that affect students and how students perceive this change, which are reflected in their satisfaction level. The author of this journal conducted the study using a quantitative in nature, and the data were collected from 544 respondents who enrolled in business management and hotel management courses at Indian institution using an online survey. A descriptive research design was adopted in this study. Independent variables included instructor quality, course design, quick feedback, and students' expectations. In the current study, student satisfaction served as a mediator, while students' performance served as the dependent variable. Male and female students both have taken part to fill the survey by answering different age groups and various courses. In example, undergraduation and post-graduation students of management and hotel management were a part of the sample. In the study, 34 questions were answered to determine the effect of the first 4 factors on student happiness and performance in online learning.
Next, data analysis. The study's major goal was to collect evaluative input from university students and lecturers regarding their experiences with online learning. For data analysis, a descriptive technique was considered. Within each question, responses to open-ended questions were transcribed, processed, and grouped to determine similar responses. Finally, for reporting reasons, frequency count of frequently occurring replies were tallied and converted to percentages. For findings and discussions, according to the study, the quality of the instructor is the most important element that influences student satisfaction during online lessons. The student's pleasure and performance are affected by the teacher's ability to present the course content correctly. The expectations of students are the second most important element. If the teacher recognizes the expectation and tailors his or her course design to meet the student's needs, it is likely that the students will perform better in class and on exams since they are delighted to study according to their needs. Thirdly, feedback. Instructors should take relevant feedback after giving the course in order to organize future courses. Design is the final component that influences student satisfaction. If the instructor designs the course so that the students comprehend the material without difficulty, the students will be more satisfied. Overall, teachers and students have equal responsibility for improved academic performance. Lastly, for the conclusions, this study's findings have a wide range of practical consequences for educators, students, and researchers. Instructors who offered online courses during the pandemic had an additional responsibility. In this context, they would have to adapt to a changing climate, refine their technical abilities along the way, and develop new students' technical expertise. Other than that, the findings of the student contribute to the field of education by demonstrating a realistic strategy that may be used to properly understand students' expectations in the classroom. The findings also can be utilized to develop and build courses in the future, as well as to make policy decisions to improve education programs.